Hello, everybody, welcome. Todos aqui você queira. Hello, everybody, welcome. Todos aqui você queira. So, guys, I'm doing these videos and I upload them. I compress them and everything. That's why sometimes I pull out the cards before I start the video so that the video doesn't sound weird or because the computer is busy doing something else, so I do the cards. So my question was, what's dropping this week? Okay, and it was kind of interesting here because I feel like remember I said the thing about Jared, somebody betraying. This is an offer, okay? Dog could be a good person or a loyalist or a partner. The scythe, loyalty upside down, okay? Treason, and private meetings, meaning could also be cooperation. Okay, so I feel like there's an offer here to somebody close to Trump to be collaborating. Okay, because it's kind of interesting because there's treason twice, so I think it's jail because treason. Then we have here theft exposed. This guy to me looks like Jared, okay, because this is the White House and it's not Trump. Okay, so somebody within the White House. This is lawyer. This could be a Michael Cohen, okay? But this is lawyer. Trapped, right? Trapped meaning could go to prison. And main person. So something here I think could be connected to either Michael Cohen or Jared, okay? But I'll see it when I do the vision. So this is misinformation. The tree usually indicates to me Trump's family or connections. And this is a card of dreams and also network, okay? So the family network or his network, military, loyalty again, and a fake person, okay? So I feel like this is what I sense here is that it's interesting because we know that the whole story in Trump is treason, right? But it looks like there's a lot of betrayal that he betrays and he's betrayed. You know what I mean? He's not loyal to anybody. He betrays the country, but there's a lot of people betraying him. Okay, so I feel like there's also the suggestion that there's more information about this is here, lack of loyalty. The lawyer could also be documentation, and this is the military. So I think there's evidence of treason. Okay, private here. And again, interesting, like I said, the cooperation of somebody who is not being truthful to him, but also, you know what I mean? But also knows of his own betrayal. So this is kind of interesting. So I wanted to find out more about what this person's relationship with Trump is. Then we have here, this could be this is voice usually, right? Chatter, conversation. This is deal. So conversation about a deal. Again, the suggestion of deal, a ring card, very similar to this one. False person, somebody lied or the deal itself was shady. Now this is interesting because Constance says somebody left, right? So, or Trump leaving and losing money. So you see what I'm saying? So I feel like it's the moment where Trump realizes people are ratting him out. Okay, several people. Okay, that's my sense here. And that there is money losses already, and it could also be the beginning of negotiations. I've said before for him to leave, but we'll see. Let me just close my eyes and see. So what is dropping? What makes public? Jared. Something big about Jared. Jared Deutsche Bank. Okay, more information about Jared Deutsche Bank. And conversations, Don Jr., the WikiLeaks stuff, and also just information about who else. Trump is going to have a very upsetting week about discovering who's betraying him. Okay, that's my sense. Okay, so let me just see here. What is the week like for Trump from his perspective? So guys, it's kind of interesting because I feel like I saw Trump like kind of like there's more and more information that he can't, he can't escape. He knows he can't escape. He's gonna feel, I feel like he's sick. Like he's sick in his, literally sick in his stomach, like throwing up. Because he knows it's almost as if he associates the job now with the discover. Everything's coming out. And I see Putin like, hey bitch, remember what I have, huh? So he's he's sweating cold, very nervous, stuff's coming out. And at the same time, he's like, I'm okay because Jared is going to be there for me. Like he believed, I feel like he gets an inkling or a sense that Jared is betraying him. Jared and Ivanka, right? Because they're basically the same person. So it's like he betrayed the country, but then he's betrayed in the end. And he shows that he's aware of it, okay? So then what else? What about Mueller? Well, guys, I see Mueller almost as if, let me show you this card. Let me show you what I see. So it's like as if, imagine like, these are cards that I have, right? But Mueller is seeing cards of people that he has to arrest. He's like, okay, this one, we're going to arrest this one here, this other one here, this one. Not like he's, not as messy as this, but, he's like organizing how the arrests are going to happen. Like he's cool. It's basically he's in a coordination situation of arrests, okay? And he's dealing with the fallout of Roger Stone. I also see that guy, what's his name? Jeremy Corsi. I know people mention him. He's a relatively minor person, but he's another Russian. He does whatever the Russians want. I think he may also see something happen to him. Okay, and I think they're like, we're not joking around this week about the WikiLeaks kind of situation. So let me just see here. So what is the week like for Mueller? Okay, so wow, it's really interesting. There's two cards of Stork. Because I'm using two Lenormands. Just sometimes I use two of the same. It's kind of interesting sometimes. Okay, so guys, okay, I have a sense, and when I started doing this one reading, that again, the betrayal of Trump, right, by somebody in his family, consistent here, and also I think Ivanka. Okay, so let me just look at this. So this is children, okay? So something about the past. So there's an issue with children. Something becomes public. Now this is a card of conversations. There will be recordings or conversations. This usually I see it as a lifestyle, but for some reason I see this today especially as Ivanka. Then we have could be transmissions or lightness, or there could be even recordings. This is a deal, okay? Reconciliation, agreement of deal. So I think that Ivanka gives the information. This is the moment, guys. I think that, remember I said before, she's going to betray him. The Wheel of Fortune, fighting, aggression. Garden means something public or a group of people. This is business, money that comes from business deals, lies, and theft. Okay, so my sense here is that she gives him information about the attack, right? The deal on the attack, the people involved, and the money, like I said, the money and the lies to cover up. Okay, so I feel like she gives information about this stuff. This is manipulation twice, guys. This is very interesting because this is like changing something. We're moving on or transferring something. Ideas. Now, this could be, guys, because it's manipulation, it could be, like I said, the messaging, right? The chains of messaging and the crazy angry. Like, this is alegría, but this is people drunk, right? It could be the trolls. It could be the misinformation. And the idea is upside down. So, see what I'm saying? So, it's like the misinformation channels, okay? So it's both these things. It's Mueller gets some sort of agreement and more information about the money that was received to turn around the election and the changes that were created, as well as how the messaging traveled, okay, and where the ideas come from. So this is it, guys. Okay, so okay. Yeah, I feel like, guys, we're at the end, okay, here. You know what I mean? In the sense of like big pressure. And Trump realizing that people are betraying him left and right. And I do think it's Ivanka here, so tell me. Because the thing with Jared, right, it's like, what are you going to say? It's very serious, okay? So what's going to ask about this week for Jared and Don Jr.? So let's first start with this. We're talking about him, Jared. What's the week like for Jared? Oh yeah, dark secrets, Jared, Jared, Jared. Okay, I don't know that he goes to prison quite this week yet, but this is something financial, beginning of something, love, behind the scenes, strategy, state of marriage, escapades. So it shows obviously that he had some sort of strategy role here in the whole thing, you know, planning how those things happen. That he does, we know that already, like he travels to get these deals for the family, illegal deals. And this is a person behind the scenes deal. Now, anchor, it means stability. It also means that he could be working for someone else, the hidden, like the Guardian Signore, right? So he made these behind the scenes deals to assure Trump's victory, because he's the Gran Señor of so it's the fake Lord. And there's grief and adversity because of his connections to travel. So he traveled, right? He went on these trips thinking that he was on his own, but it's not true. Now, this is interesting. This is a revelation of dark secret, okay? Connected to the White House and bribery a long time ago, okay? Or related to the past. Private or, yeah, private communications. Anger. So guys, yeah, I just feel like yeah, I mean, I think we know that already about him. So what is significant about this? Is this significant at all? What does this mean? Everything is laid out on the table for him. He knows they have everything. I also see, this is like, I see him, you know, this is literally the expression is they are putting the cards on the table, meaning we know this. So he's white. He's like, he's already, I mean, he's an alien or an evil character or whatever, but he's just like, oh, they have all the information, huh? Oh. So he thought he was so clever, but they have all the information on him. And this is why, guys, I feel like it is the moment of truth for him. And No, even Ivanka is like, she's even colder. I think she knows she's gonna get it much better. Like, there's just gonna have a much better outcome than he will. But that's my sense here. Okay, kind of interesting. How close is he to going to prison? I'm just gonna ask for more chance. How close is he? Oh, interesting. Delay. Lady. Public, okay. That's right. Gamblers. Doctor. This is the Justice Department. Okay, so guys, I feel like it's possible, like I said, he could be collaborating or something where it's something either unexpected or there's some sort of delay here where something becomes public about the woman who had a solution, but it has to do. Okay, so what is this? So guys, okay, I'm getting this sense here about him. It's like, it's interesting. It suggests that there is the press and a lot of the legal community and everything, they are making a concentrated effort to not let the stuff come out because the stuff he's involved in is insane. Okay, it's like when it comes out, it's like a mayhem because it's so much. I mean, we know that already, but imagine all the stuff being, there's a lot of evidence already, and it's coming out, and it's, I'm reminded, guys, even almost a year ago, even I don't remember when it was. There was news that Jared Kushner had hired a PR firm, or that his lawyer had hired a PR firm, and that it's because of the stuff that's coming out. That's what I start to see here. That it's kind of like the stuff starts bursting out because he's involved in so much, and this is it. And it's like they're planning there's something here about the Justice Department where they're trying to see what they can get out of him. Okay, it's not that they're going to offer him a deal, but I feel like, remember guys, I'm going back again to the TV show I was telling you about, which is it's called The Assets. And when they catch the Robert Hansen, the guy who's the traitor, literally, right, he was selling secrets to Russia. They get the wife and they get him. And they said, look, he's still serving multiple life sentences. And they say, okay, if you give us information, she gets 5 years. And then she's deported to Colombia. That's his wife. She was from Colombia, and she's free to go. If you don't, she gets life in prison. So similarly here, they're laying all the cards on the table, and they want him to give information, because otherwise they're like, we're gonna get Ivanka. Okay, so he has to say, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think he's done, just like Robert Hansen. He's done. Okay, actually, guys, I was gonna do a reading on this, but let me just ask quickly. Compared to, I don't want to say actually, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It was not Robert Hansen what the Assets was about. It was about Aldrich Ames. There's a difference. The Aldrich Ames was a person at the CIA that sold the secrets to Russians. Robert Hansen was in the FBI. So let's ask, compared to the film The Assets, how much worse I think Jared Kushner is worse than Aldrich Ames. Let me figure out. Let me ask in terms of degrees, okay? So, what is the, if we compare Robert Hansen? No, sorry, Aldrich Ames from the CIA to Jared Kushner. What is the difference? Okay, so guys, yeah, it shows right away. It says that he's worse than Aldrich Ames, because it says Aldrich Ames. Not to say that he, I'm not defending him at all, but in comparison to Jared Kushner, Aldrich Ames only sold the secrets to one country, which was Russia. It says that Jared Kushner sold and killed people, right, just the way that Aldrich Ames did, which is that giving their names, those people are going to die, be tortured. So there's dead people in Saudi Arabia, not just the journalists, but the family of MBS. Okay, there is people in those, the war zones or whatever, that were not, what do you call it? Like, they're not alerted. There is the people in, even Israeli people. Okay, there is Russians. I mean, I think he sold to different countries. He was really like a salesman. He would go to these countries and he would sell. So this is he's far worse. It's saying here. I mean, not like I said, it's not that there's anything good about Aldrich Ames, but imagine he's saying here he had access to many more things than Aldrich Ames did, because unlike Aldrich Ames, like I said, Aldrich Ames had, his specialty was Russia. So he had access to stuff only related to Russia, where he knew how to speak about these things. However, Jared Kushner, he had access to so many documents, and he was actively selling. And there is information already, and people are showing here, people in the CIA and all these agencies, they're so angry at him. They want him. I mean, seriously, not in a bad, not like they're gonna kill him, but they're furious that they know people that have already probably died because of him. So that's the story. So let's see if there are going to be indictments this week. Maybe something related to if there are, then it's related to WikiLeaks, but I don't feel like, maybe, guys, not as big as I would think. Okay, Mueller is planning now for next, and I said before, I have to double check the protocol for February for Jared Kushner and Don Jr. But that's that. Okay. But I'm gonna stop here for a moment. Okay, bye.